Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Faith Family Homestead. It is 8:49. My kids have been doing school for about 49 minutes. I'm in the kitchen because I'm a little late making breakfast. I'm about to just scramble some eggs. We don't really have much to go with the eggs besides some grits. And I am used to white grits. A friend of mine gave me some yellow grits and I made it, and it didn't taste the same. It kind of tasted weird to me. My family ate it, but I didn't. So I'm gonna actually only make eggs. And why I say only is because usually we might have like eggs and grits or eggs and oatmeal or eggs and bacon or eggs and sausage, but I only have eggs right now. So I'm gonna make some eggs. But today we are probably going to be staying inside the house. I have lots of stuff that I need to do to reset the house. I know I have laundry to put away. I know I have to clean up in this kitchen, clean up the pantry. There's like stuff all over. So if you're interested, hang out with me today while we're inside. And we just have a lot of cleanup to do. But first, we're gonna make eggs. So come along with me. This is beef tallow, but then I did add some bacon grease in here, so I guess now it's technically a mix. But we did get like 21 jars of rendered beef fat when we got our half a cow. Let me tell you something. Ever since our chickens have been free ranging and hiding their eggs, we've gotten so many bad eggs that I've been on like an egg break. And so I was opening those eggs with pure caution. Even though our chickens are now in one place and laying in one place, I still have been traumatized from getting so many bad eggs that have sat outside for a long time and we finding them later and with the heat. And so I was picking up, like opening those eggs with so much caution. The potatoes we've harvested over this last garden season was inside that basket with the handle, but I could never find a good place to sit that basket, and so since we've had some square baskets empty, I decided to go ahead and put my potatoes and my garlic in those baskets and put them up on the shelf, which was a really good idea, and I really like that, so that I could bring those baskets back to the garden because I use them for harvesting. In between cleaning, I was helping Nehemiah with her homework, and then I needed to go ahead and clean out this pantry and just take out stuff that was expired or stuff that fell at the bottom and we missed it because it is almost time to go shopping at Costco. I go shopping once a month, and so I'm just going ahead and taking out all the expired stuff or the stuff that the girls do not like or that we tried, because I love trying new snacks, and maybe some of them that we just didn't like. Have you guys ever made vanilla extract, your own vanilla extract? I have two different ones here. They're both infused in vodka. This one I just used the vodka jar, and this one I poured the vodka in this half-gallon mason jar. And you could, I don't know if you can tell, but this has lots of vanilla beans in there. I think what I did was the spent vanilla beans that I had already used, I didn't want to throw them away, and so I put them in here along with new vanilla beans. I don't remember if I did the same thing for here because it just looks like there's a lot of vanilla beans in there. But I know I haven't thrown away any vanilla beans yet. I know that I've watched, I think, videos where they say with your spent vanilla beans, after you finish the vanilla extract, you can like grind it up to make like vanilla powder, but I just haven't tried that. Have you guys made your own vanilla extract? As I was like just cleaning my pantry off, I noticed that these are my last two vanilla extract, and so I think I want to go ahead and get another one going. I don't know if I've ever showed how to make vanilla on here, so if you guys are interested in that, want to make it, let me know, because I definitely want to start another one. I usually leave mine for a year. Sometimes I write the date on these bottles. Oh yeah, so actually the first time I started this one was in 2022, and then I think I started using it in 2023. because it says December 2022. Or maybe when I made that. I don't know. Yeah, that looks like when I made it. But anyway, let me know if you're interested in how to make vanilla extract. It's super, super easy. Or if you've made it before, let me know down in the comments. With this garden season was here, I had my electric canner sitting out on the counter, but now since I'm all done canning for the year, I decided to go ahead and put my electric canner back at the top of my shelves, which is really nice. And I do have lots of empty containers that I'm going to need to refill when I go shopping at Costco, but I just wanted to go ahead and give everything a wipe down because we just get so dusty with dogs and dirt and just tracking in so much mud from outside. With the changing season, I decided to keep my crock pot on my counter because I do, with the school season, want to start making a lot of crock pot meals with soups and stuff like that. And so I do keep my Instapot and my crock pot on my counter during these fall months. And I am just, and my juicer as well. So I am just going ahead and just moving them and wiping around and cleaning our tables. Speaking of dust, I've been loving this 3-in-1 air purifier. It purifies 99.97% of pollutants in the air. And with us having dogs and, like I said, tracking in mud, I've been running this for like 2 weeks and I could already tell a difference in the air quality. We do have 2 cats that live in here as well, and the 2 dogs that come in and out. This specific one is for large rooms, so it does or can purify 1,590 square feet. And so I do have it in our living room because that is where I mostly am sweeping out dog hair so much daily. But it's super quiet, and the older that I've gotten, I've been struggling with allergies really bad, and so I definitely loved having this because I can already tell a difference in the air quality. And like I said, I keep it on turbo mode all the time, and I just keep it running 24 hours a day. I keep the light off because you can see Winter right here, how fluffy she is. And then plus we have Jasper over here, German Shepherd puppy. We do have a smaller one that I've been using, and you can see it's at 91 right now. I was using it in my room, but I decided to put it in the girls' room because they, a lot of the times, are sleeping with a puppy. And so I figured having the air purifier in their room, the smaller one, would help purify the air at nighttime for them. I'm going to leave a link to where I got these air purifiers in the description box. They're going to be having a sale from the 15th to the 18th, so go ahead and check their website. Again, that link is going to be in the description box, so you can go ahead and check out an air purifier for your home as well. If you don't have one of these Bissell cleaners, you definitely need one. We clean our couches like once a month. You can see all of these stains on it. I just cleaned this one, the seat. I have to finish cleaning the front. You could kind of see it's a little gray compared to the bright pink of the seat. I'm always amazed at how dirty these couches get. I'm like usually always keep a blanket of some sort over them because they're beige and they get dirty so quick. And then with our cats, they like to scratch on the sides, and so I just like to keep them covered. But even with keeping them covered, we do still have to clean them once a month, and I love this Bissell cleaner for that because you can see that spot that I showed at the beginning completely goes away once we just use the Bissell to clean it. I usually have to, even if I have my girls start cleaning the couches for me, I usually just go back in and finish cleaning it because you do have to scrub really hard sometimes on tough stains. So I have all of the couches. I've cleaned them. They look much better. I just need them to dry. It's 2:49. I've spent the whole day cleaning and helping the girls with schoolwork. So now I'm gonna go outside and I'll update you on, because we have been still working in the garden maybe 2 or 3 more times, and I haven't shown you an update. So my girls are already out there, so let's go out there and catch up with them. You moving those? Oh, those are tomato plants. So what the girls have been working on is this raspberry bed, this bed, which was covered with weeds, but there's landscape fabric, so the weeds are actually growing up in the corner and then trailing over. I showed you guys when we cleaned that bed, and I think half of this bed, but we've also done this bed. And for the most part, I mean, we've taken out the zinnias that have gone to seed. We haven't pulled this out because it's really, really strong in there. So I was going to tell my husband to pull it out, and I forgot. You can see how the log raised beds are falling apart. So I definitely want to get in here and change them to the wood side beds. And we've just been spending an hour out here each day, and so you see the girls are now working over here in this bed. And this bed does have sweet potatoes growing because I did plant sweet potato vines in here, so you can see how they're out the ground there, but the weeds are going all the way to the back. And then the last thing we'll have to clean is this asparagus bed, and I still don't know what I'm going to be doing with the asparagus bed. I know obviously we have to get all the weeds out, and I think I'm just gonna cover it with the black plastic. So even cutting down the asparagus, so like this right here is asparagus, but then you have some stuff like that's not asparagus, that's not asparagus, like some stuff like that. So I'm not really sure, but now that we have, for the most part, I haven't covered this bed even though I have the black plastic right there. We didn't use that bed this past season, even though I have landscape fabric over it, and there's actually no weeds growing underneath it, which is really, really great. But once my husband comes and get this big weed out right here, then I'll be able to use this black plastic and cover these two beds with that black plastic, because I'm shutting down this garden for the season, and I'm going to leave the plastic over until next year. I'm going to try and get a fall garden inside of my hoop house, but I definitely wanted to deal with this garden before I moved on to the next thing. Coming out here for an hour at a time has been a huge accomplishment for me, because I am definitely have an obsessive personality where I want to get what I want to get done all in the same day, right away, right now. And I just couldn't do that for this garden, and I've talked about this before, where I call it analysis paralysis, where I know I can't get something done, and so then I do nothing, which obviously is not helpful. But just setting a goal to do an hour at a time and sticking to it has really, really been helpful with sticking to cleaning up this garden. And it's actually going by quicker and faster than I expected, with because the weeds are actually, with the exception of a couple beds, most of these beds have been covered in landscape fabric, which I really, really am so glad that we ended up doing this past season, because it actually really did cut down on the bed cleaning for this past year. I've said this before, but for the most part, well, not for the most part, what's happening is weeds were growing up at either the side of the beds, and then it popped through, and it makes it look like the weeds were coming out of the bed. Well, for this one, the weeds were coming out of the bed, but then they were also coming into the landscape fabric on this side, so it made it look like that weeds were growing through the landscape fabric, when this actually really wasn't. It was just weeds coming from that bed because we didn't cover it. I'm leaving, so there's like some zinnias that are going to seed, and down at the end there's a big basil, and I'm just leaving it even though it's going to seed, because if I remove it, like, soil wants to have something covering it, and so if I remove it, something else is just going to take its place. And so if it's a plant like this corn, we didn't take out, like, we did pull it out of the roots just so that we can lay it evenly in the bed. But for the most part, if it's a plant that I want, I'm just laying it over the bed to use as mulch to cover the bed and stop weeds from growing, because nature wants to cover itself. And so that's what happened in all of, even the landscape fabric spots right here. What happened was soil was coming, because these beds were 3 feet and then I made them 4 feet. So soil had spilled out from the 3 feet, and the fabric was only 3 feet. And so soil spilled out on the sides, and then that's created weeds to be able to grow at the sides. But like I said, good thing the soil or the weeds are not growing through the landscape fabric. And I'm going to keep landscape fabric next year. I may just, since these beds are 4 feet now, I may just go ahead and get 4 feet landscape fabric to compensate. I'm not really sure right now. We're just working on cleanup. I'm really sweaty, but it looks so much better. We weren't able to get that bed because those weeds are so mature that I'm gonna need my husband's help to pull out, like have him pull out all of the weeds there and then chop down all the asparagus to be able to cover it. But this already looks so much better, and it's been actually so much easier than I thought it was gonna be. Getting these weeds, we spend an hour out here every time we come out here, like after school or before school, and it's been working really great. A flower poked me in the eye. And so there's just some weeds that I just can't get out with my own hands. And our saw is not working right now, and so I'm just gonna need my husband's help for that. You could just put it right here. But we have another bed completed, and I actually put it on, if you find those sunflower things, put them in this bed so we can keep this bed covered, since we just weeded it so weeds don't grow back.
Do I take some of here?
Yeah, take those and put them in this bed. So these are all, these are like 8 feet sunflowers. So we're gonna take them out of this bed, since we need to weed this bed, and put them in the other bed to cover it. Yeah, just pull it out. And we found some live ant piles. This was an ant pile at the beginning of the year, and I thought I killed it, but you can see it's alive.
Ow.
Hey Jeff, are you waiting for us?
Ow.
You're just waiting here. After we get all these weeds out and then the bed's covered, the next thing will be taking down all of these trellises. That green that's growing up there is morning glory.
Yes,
My bean trellis is just dried beans.
come on.
But the next step,
Come on.
finish weeding, cover the beds, take down the trellises, and this garden will be, I'm not taking down the tomato trellises because I'm going to leave that whole side, but I am changing this side to make the trellises arch a different way. So we're ready to go, and we've spent our hour outside, and the girls' treat is ice cream. Bye guys.